Do you like cabbage? Because I do. So here's a recipe. First things first. The cabbage, underrated, underappreciated, so let's give it some love today. We're starting with a medium-sized Savoy cabbage, and I'm just gonna remove the outer layers and remove the core. I'm slicing it in half, and with a knife, I'm gonna cut out the core. This dish is inspired from an old calabrese recipe. It's simple in nature, allows the cabbage to shine through, and has great depth of flavor. So there's a couple ways you can prepare the cabbage here. I'm going to cut one half into 4 wedges, and the other half I'm just going to thinly slice into small strips. You can finely chop it up as well. You can finely chop up the whole cabbage if you want. But I want to showcase the cabbage here as the main dish, which is why I'm cutting it into wedges. Finally chop up half of a small onion, and that little butt that I'm left with, I'm going to toss it into a Ziploc bag and into the freezer. Once I gather enough vegetable scraps, I'm going to turn it into a veggie stock. This helps food waste, and you don't have to go buy veggie stock. Next, we're going to grab 2 to 3 sausages, mild, sweet, hot, whatever you like. I'm using mild, and I'm going to remove the meat from the casing by slicing it into the sausage a quarter of the way through and removing the meat. Next, we're going to drain 1 can, 540 mils, of cannellini beans. No need to rinse, but you can discard the liquid, or you can even add the liquid to the dish. With the cabbage wedges, cover in extra virgin olive oil and season with salt, freshly cracked pepper on both sides. Now you want to get some color and caramelization just to bring out even more flavor out of the cabbage, and I'm going to grill them, but you can roast, barbecue, shallow fry, or the best idea, charcoal grill them. Whatever you decide to do, make sure you get color on both sides. These took about 3 minutes per side on medium to high heat, and once done, just remove and set aside. Now grab a pan large enough to hold everything along with the wedges once we nestle them into the sauce mixture, and that you'll be able to cover with a lid as well. Add a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on medium to high heat, and we're going to add the sausage meat, breaking it up as it cooks, and it's going to get browned and crispy. Once done, remove the sausage from the pan to a plate and set aside. Now you're going to be left with brown crispy bits at the bottom of the pan, and that's called fond. It's all flavor that will get released later. Depending on how much oil was taken out or left, you may have to add a drizzle or 2 of more extra virgin olive oil. Then we're going to add the onions, some chili flakes for heat, season with salt, freshly cracked pepper, and saute until the onions have softened. And then add the beans and cook them a bit until they blister and puff up a bit. Then add a small can, 398 mils of baby plum tomatoes or chopped up tomatoes. You can even go with passata and fill that can or jar up with water as well. Give a swish to get all that extra tomato flavor and add that to the pan as well. And cook until the beans and tomatoes have softened. We can bring the heat down to low medium, and now we're going to remove half of the mixture and blend it. This way it's going to give us extra creaminess without adding cream. Add the blended puree back to the pan. You can break up any tomatoes if you like, if there's any left, whatever you want. Then we're going to add the cut up cabbage and the sausage as well. Give a mix and cover with a lid and cook for about 10 to 15 minutes until the cabbage is wilted and everything has reduced a little bit. Season with salt and freshly cracked pepper again, and you may have to add a bit more water at this point before adding the wedges. You can also use stock as well to add even more flavor. Now we're going to nestle the wedges into the pan, cover with a lid, and braise for about 25 to 30 minutes on low heat, checking halfway through to see if more liquid is needed. If you feel it's too soupy at the end, you can just cook without the lid towards the end, and that'll thicken everything up. Once the cabbage is done, you can easily pierce a knife through it. You can remove and plate it up. Finish with some freshly cracked pepper, a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, some bread, and of course, some cheese. So I'm sticking with the calabrese inspiration here, and I have a pecorino cheese, which is called crotonese, which also happens to be my all-time fave as well. Now bring that to the table. Like I said before, cabbage, it's a bit underrated. Really good balance of flavors here. The sweetness from the cabbage, the creaminess of the white beans, the tomatoes, and of course the sausage really brings it all together. Add some bread, have at it. It is delicious. Hope you give this recipe a go. And as always, the full recipe is in the link in the description below. Please like and comment. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, ciao.